Friday. Welcome everybody. It is Friday, March 20th. Again, the first day of spring. I'm so excited. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for being here. So Michelle is in the house, you guys. So if you've got any questions you want to try and stump her on, she's here. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is Artbeads Fab Friday. Why is it Fab Friday? Because we're all hanging out with each other. The week is wound down and we are getting ready for the weekend. Hi, my friend Zach. Hello, Mary from KC. Welcome, welcome. Mary from Oklahoma is here. Oh my gosh, you guys. Francie in KC. Monica from Rhode Island. Daisy says she's here and she will watch while she makes meatballs. Okay. That sounds amazing, Daisy. That sounds like great comfort food for a Friday. Thaisa is here as well. So you guys, Michelle and Thaisa today. I feel so lucky. Jane from Long Island. Hello. Connie from Georgia. Hello. Rhonda Z is here. Ellen from NJ, New Jersey is here. Connie from Ohio. Let's see who else. Zach saying hello to everybody. Carol Ann is here from South Jersey. Anne Marie from Acton, Massachusetts. Vicky is here from Maryland. Oh my gosh, you guys. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Lisa in PA. Hazel is here. Oma is here. Hello, Oma. Nancy says it's sunny in Virginia. I like to hear that, Nancy, because it is the first day of spring, you guys. Tell me, are you having spring where you are? Because we skipped spring here in Arizona. We're already on summer. Let's see who else. Rosie is here from Buena Park. BJ from Ohio. Laura D is here. She says, good afternoon. Joining you from my new digs in Babcock Ranch in Punta Gorda, Florida. Wow, that sounds really amazing, Laura. Congratulations on that new location. Let's see. Thank you, Zach. These are some Tiara cast findings. I didn't put these in the show today, but they are just a little combo of components. Really fun. They're some of my new favorites. I've been wearing these a lot. Kat is here from Red Oak, PA. Sarah's here from Tucson. Sarah! Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I think I remember you, Sarah. Thanks so much for saying hello to me in Tucson and being here. I appreciate you. Susan J is here from rainy Seattle. Susan, send me some rain. Send me some rain. I would love it. Michelle, is it sunny and 80 in where you are? Because I can't believe that. That sounds amazing. Linda in Boston is here. She says it's still cold there. Let's see. Nancy in Michigan is here. Maureen from Massachusetts. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Maureen. Thank you for being here. Daisy says it's 67 in Southeast Michigan. Winter one day, summer the next. Yeah, it's kind of happening that way everywhere. Marion Casey says it's 80s there. Ruth is here from Illinois. You're all saying happy birthday to Maureen. That's so wonderful. Hannah from Iceland. Hello. She says good evening from Iceland. That's wonderful that you're here. Thank you, Zach. Kat from Cincinnati, Ohio. Thank you, BJ. Hi, Ruth Alice. Thanks for coming. Oh my gosh, Monica, it's cold and gloomy. I'm sorry. Chilly in Cleveland. You guys, we've got the whole gamut here from, all kinds of crazy weather, happy weather, gloomy weather, all kinds. We've got it all covered here. Let's see. Just let me grab a few more comments. Ann B is here. Marianne from Massachusetts. Dorothy from North Carolina. Sunny and warm there. That's wonderful. Vicky, thank you. Okay, you guys, 1 second. I just want to make sure I have my good notes. Okay, so before we get started today, because it is the first day of spring, my show today is called Spring Has Sprung. So we're going to do some fun and joyful spring jewelry making today. And since it is the first day of spring, there have been some sales going on with green and spring items. And you guys, I checked this out. So it's 26% off through Monday. And you know what? There's Rosetta beads in that sale. There are some green silin beads. So those are the John bead seed beads that you guys, we introduced a little bit earlier. Well, I guess it was probably last year we introduced those. There are some flower beads, really pretty leaf beads. So if you're looking for things to start working with for spring, we've got a ton of that, and it's 26% off right now. The best way to shop that sale is go to artbeads.com, and there's typically a kind of a revolving banner that goes across the screen. Wait for the green and spring banner, click on that, and it will give you everything that's included in that sale. Super easy to shop. I love how Artbeads does their sales. It's always easy to navigate, and you can figure out where, where you want to go, how you want to shop, that kind of thing. There is also a deal of the week, which is 25% off select bead mixes and bead strand assortments. Now, I know some of you are bead mix and bead strand assortment junkies, so there's a few of them that are at 25% off. So grab those while you can. That's an amazing deal. There's also a gift with purchase that is bead related. So you will get a little goodie of beads as a gift with purchase. And that is for orders of $99 or more. And you get free USA shipping on $49 and more orders. Whew, that's a lot. And I also wanted to mention there was a launch this week of brand new spring charms. So if you are looking to stock up on all those fun charms, there's tons of flowers, there's bugs, including ladybugs and butterflies. I've got a few things in the show from that new collection. There's even some fish. Fish are still super, super popular. So if you're looking for something like that, check out that. There is a banner across the top of the website that will take you right to those new charms if you want to check them out. So thank you guys for all being here. Let's flip the camera down because I have new for you today. So again, for those of you who are bead mix and bead strand assortment junkies, we have a brand new assortment for you today. Now I'm going to put this in a dish in a second because I haven't even opened this yet, but this is so beautiful. This is spring in a bag right here. So this is called Petals and Pearls. And this is a brand new today, just activated bead strand or bead mix. So this is brand new for spring. You guys are going to love this. The colors, I mean, this is another masterpiece by Mixmaster Megan and her team. Look at this. Oh, this is so, so pretty. So this is a combination of pearls, leaves, flowers. There's all kinds of good beads in here. Let's pull out a few so we can take a look. So when you're thinking about leaves for spring, you probably want green leaves. So these are actually drilled across the top, so they will hang down like a leaf like this. They're transparent green, so pretty. Absolutely love those. And then look at these little flowers. So these come in a couple different colors in this mix. So a clear flower and a purple flower. And they are drilled through the center, so you can, use these for all different kinds of designs, all different kinds of jewelry. And there are some really cool center drilled flowers. So these are like, I bet these are Alexandrite, but I'm not 100% sure. But they are an AB finish on one side and a matte finish on the other. And they're like a light lavender. Oh, so pretty. Oh, so spring. And then look at these pearls. So these are lovely little glass pearls. And these are like a creamy pearl. So not white and not pink. They are a cream colored pearl. So pretty. They look so amazing in this mix. Then there's these tiny little cubes. I love cubes. These cubes are so cute. And this one is like a little transparent green, like a celery type green. Super pretty. What size are the pearls, Monica? I would say these are 6mm pearls. They are really beautiful, so pretty. So there's a ton of them in here. And then there's these tiny little, I think they are English cut check little rounds. So they're an English cut, so they've got those multiple cuts around them. And this is a really pretty pink. It's a nice rich pink. So one last thing in this mix are these little blue daggers. And they have like an iris kind of finish on them. And they're matte. So these are going to add texture. They're going to add nice pops of teal or turquoise, however you want to interpret that color. It's a beautiful shade of blue. So this is brand new today. Don't miss this because this is an absolutely spectacular mix and you get a ton of beads. This is the kind of thing, I always say this to you guys, you can use this, just grab some seed beads and some wire and start stringing, or you can separate out all the pieces and parts out and you'll have all of these things in your stash. It really is, Lisa. It's just really pretty. This is spring. I mean, this screams spring to me. So we are on the first day of spring, and whether it's actually spring where you are or not, you can start creating with this, this little bead mix. So pretty. So I might work with that today. We'll see. I'm going to set that off to the side. And then I want to show you guys just a few things that are really cool and maybe something you can think about for your spring designs. And we are going to make some things today. So we'll get to that in just a bit. But if you haven't checked out the new charms yet, I thought I would show you a few. I pulled out some dragonflies because I think dragonflies are the kind of thing I start to see in spring. So at least where I am, I start to see them in spring and they hang around through the summer here. Hi, Kim. So these are a pretty little cute dragonfly, and there's a couple of different styles of the dragonfly. That one's kind of got a straight bottom to it, and then this one has a little bit of a curve to it. So a couple different ones for you. And I just think these are just the cutest. So they're going to go with lots of different things that you might want to design with. Now there's also a really big one that is probably more pendant size for most people, but honestly, this is really lightweight. I would do an earring for this. These are really a nice thin metal, but they are not flimsy. So this is really nice, and I'm going to put fingerprints on it. But this is a really beautiful dragonfly, and I think you could embellish this with maybe a little flat back rhinestone in the center. But you could literally take an ear wire, put it through the loop up top, and you've got a really pretty and whimsical dragonfly earring. So super pretty, super fun. Those are brand new in our charm drop that we had earlier this week. I want to show you a few other quick things because maybe these are things you haven't seen before. So this is an exclusive check glass strand, and I've just pulled a few of the beads out here. These are a center drilled flower. So they have the hole down the center, and they are a beautiful like rosaline. So they're a rosaline AB. Rosaline is typically like a light pink. And the flash on this AB finish is outrageous. Now you get a bunch of these, and they're 16 by 47 millimeters. These are really interesting, really pretty flowers, super fun to work with. And I wanted to show you this bracelet I made a while back, probably sometime last year. And I literally took I think I took 2 strands, and I strung all of those flowers onto my beading wire with just a tiny little seed bead in between, maybe 2. Yeah, there's 2 seed beads in there, which give these beads a nice movement. So this is super cool. And then I matched them up to some rounds and added the rounds in the center as a focal. And this bracelet is really too big for me in length, but I did add some beads at the end. This would be a really fun necklace as well. So you could make this your focal section, and you could keep going with other beads here and create something really interesting and fun for the spring. So I wanted to show you these because these are really special, really, really special check glass. Pretty large, center drilled, but look at that just flash of these beautiful AB finishes on here. Super, super cool, really pretty beads. So that's something I thought I would share because they are flowers, and spring is all about the flowers blooming. I also made this as a project a while back. So if you go to the design studio, this is a project that I did. And these particular Raven's Journey flowers are not available. And I don't think these little drop flowers are either, but I did want to show you these little connector pieces. So this was a really fun project to make, and you could do this with any of these little bell flowers and any of the flower beads. But all you need metal wise are a few of those connectors, and they are available. These are JBB brand, and they are sterling silver flower links. So they look very much like these flowers, like very much like them. So it's a really cool match when you start looking at some of our flower beads. Now we've got this color available. So this is marigold yellow. So you could do the same design and just use the marigold yellow instead of that orangey red color. So I love the look of these connectors, and you could, and my flowers are a tad tarnished, but you know what I'll show you is if you have a little polishing cloth, you can just kind of shine those up. Everything tarnishes, all metals tarnish. But a little polishing cloth will do ya for instances like this. But there we've got our little connectors with a flower hanging from it, and then it's connected to the necklace with a couple of jump rings. So these are available, these little connectors, and you could create a pair of earrings with these by just adding your loop to an ear wire and then wire wrap a bead to the bottom. And you could use these guys. And there are some other fun beads I wanted to show you to do that. So let me grab these beads because I think these are really special also. So if you haven't seen these before, these are also limited edition check glass flower beads, and we've got these in a number of different shapes and a number of different sizes and several different colors. So these happen to be the teardrop shape, which I'm completely obsessed with right now. And I think the sizing is like a 16 by something. I've only got part of the description on my little bag here. But you can see, and they're so shiny that it's picking up the ring light. But you can see this is a red glass with a little flower on it. Super pretty little beads. So I love the idea of taking these and just grabbing a head pin. And we're going to do a super easy earring, but this is just a joyful earring that you can create. And you'll have something beautiful for spring, or you can gift this to someone. So I'm using a ball end head pin, and let me get all of these out of the way. Wanted to get all my tools out so I could actually see them. And I'm just going to do a wire wrap loop, and we're going to attach directly to our connector. So I'm going to come in and take my head pin and drop it right into the loop on the flower. And then get my tools all the way out of the way. I'm going to grab my bent chain nose here. And then I'm going to just do a couple of wraps around and trim off my excess. Let me grab my cutters, and then you'll probably want to grab your chain nose just to kind of clean up your loop a little bit. And now you've got this pretty little floral drop with this beautiful sterling flower up here, which is just going to be so pretty. And let's do our second one. And then I'll grab some ear wires. I got those over on my tray off to the side. These are really lovely beads. These look very vintage, but they have just a sweetness to them that makes them perfect for spring. And because I like to wear flowers all year round, that deep red kind of goes anytime, any season, really. So let me grab my cutters, trim off my excess, and I'm going to grab some, thanks Fancy, I'm going to grab some ear wires. I've got these are kind of a catch-all kind of ear wire. I believe these are in the show. These are a sterling silver ball end ear wire, and they are a 0.66 millimeter. You get them by the pair. These are, to me, are kind of the standard. Like, this is probably what I use most often for earrings. I don't know, just kind of my go-to, especially when I don't want to overshadow my design. So I want to just, let the beads and the components do the talking. Look at that, so pretty, such a sweet design. And, this is the time of year where I really feel like it's an opportunity to get that joyful jewelry out there into the world. The flowers, the colors, just a really pretty earring pair. And you can twist your bead around so that the flowers are showing up front. So pretty. So you've got kind of a double flower going here. Little flower component, little flower connectors, and then those beautiful limited edition check glass drops. So beautiful. Let's see. Oma says, can you show us sometime how to use post earrings to attach a dangle? Yeah, I can. And Oma, I know I had some posts in a show not too long ago, but darned if I can't see those, that bag. I usually bag up all of my things from a show so I can find them. I put them in a safe place so I can find them. But yeah, we'll do that another time. We'll do another show about earring findings. We did a show a while back about earring findings, and we can do another one and talk about all the different kinds of earring findings. So that's a really fun springy pair of earrings. And then let me show you one that as I was preparing for the show, I couldn't resist making these. I made them ahead of time. I just couldn't stop myself. These are both spring and summer to me. So these are such fun earrings. So these are made with a few different things here that I thought you guys might enjoy. So you've probably heard me say this before. I love lotus flowers. These lotus components are by Tiara Cast. So if you've never seen these before, I'll show you one by itself so you can get a good look at the component, because these are really great. I've used these as pendants and also in earrings. So this is what it looks like. It's a double-sided antique silver-plated pewter open lotus link. So from my perspective, there's no obvious way to use this. Like, you could use this however you want. You could have it look like a lotus flower going this way, a lotus flower going that way. Heck, you could do it this way. There's all kinds of things you can do with this. I would even consider putting some resin in those open spaces, and you have something like a little window of color. You could do some colored resin in there, like some flower petals in there. But you could do, this right onto an ear wire like I did. And then what I did was wire wrap some beads directly onto some of the bottom pieces. And then I used some chain to connect the center one. And Texas Tracy, hi. Having it upside down, it almost looks like a bee. Oh my gosh, I didn't see that, Texas Tracy, until you pointed that out. It kind of does. So this is just a really nice, it's a nice quality. Tiara Cast quality is excellent. So I used here another, check glass strand of beads. And I thought these almost kind of gave me like lily pad vibes a little bit, even though they're little pressed flowers. But this green color is so pretty. It's a cool mint green, and it has AB on one side. So it is a nice, clear, transparent green on one side, and then it has that fantastic flash on the other. So this green is so good for spring and for summer. So I thought they were a nice match for my lotus flowers. And the chain that I used to dangle that center bead is a really cool chain. And you could use lots of different kinds of chain here, but I thought this one was fun. This is a 090 DC sterling silver long Rolo chain, and this is sold by the foot. So these are not rounded. They're more of an oval or almost a rectangular link. So I loved the look of this. It's going to create some interesting texture for your design. And here, I just thought it was interesting. So this is just a fun way to create with these little open flowers. So if you love lotus flowers, this is a great design to play with. And you can always use this as a focal pendant. You could attach to each side of these. You could do these two leaves or attach to this one. You could do the bee design and attach up here. There's lots of different possibilities. Yeah, the Rolo chain is really beautiful. It's a nice size. It would look beautiful as just a simple bracelet around your wrist too. Just really pretty and elegant, very sophisticated, I think. Super shiny. So, sterling silver, it will tarnish, but it will polish. So don't be afraid of sterling silver, because it is something that you can just quickly polish up and it looks shiny and pretty again. So those are some fun earrings for us too. I'm going to put these earrings up here, and I'm also going to put those up here because we've got really fun fun earring designs here. So I've got another earring design that I thought you guys might enjoy, and these components are fabulous. So these are, let's see if I've got them going the right direction. There we go. So these are sterling silver festoon flower links. So they're like a little vine of growing flowers, and the flowers are going off to either side. These are a lovely, lovely quality. And the length of these is, let's see, just about 1.5 inches long, just shy of that actually. And so these will make a really beautiful way to do another earring drop or another drop earring, kind of like this, but just looking a lot more interesting because of those flowers going in the other direction. So I thought what we would do here is we would take these flowers. So we looked at these red ones here, and this is another version of these flowers in a round and in a different color. So this is like a lovely green color, and I'm sorry, the ring light is just, let's see, I always try this and it doesn't really help because it's too dark, but look, it's got a flower. So it's got that little beautiful, pretty pink flower on the inside. And oh, I see Santa Barbara girl is here. I did not see you come in. Hello, my friend. So these come in a set of 6, and they're just a nice quality bead. The color is beautiful, and I thought they would just look so nice as a drop on these earrings. Now, these are also not heavy, so I want you guys to know these silver components that I'm working with are not heavy. So if you choose wisely your flower or your beads, you're not going to have a heavy earring, but you're going to have a joyful piece of jewelry. So here we go with this one. And I love the way this looks. So these flowers on these beads are so charming and so lovely. And this green is delicious. So I'm going to take that, hook that on, grab my bent chain nose, and just do a few wraps around my bead. Just want to get kind of a chunky wrap on there. And then let me trim off my excess. And oh my goodness, I think this is going to look really, really pretty. Let me grab the other chain nose, tuck in that end of my wire. And this is so, so pretty. Such a pretty floral combo. So again, flowers on flowers, super pretty, super joyful for the spring. And you can pick some other colors of these beads. These beads also come in other colors. I think they might come in a red. They come in like a yellow color, a pink color. There's a few of them. So if you don't like this green, there are some other options. I didn't put them all in the show, but there are some other options if you want to go and check those out. Now, if you want to shop the show, you guys, you can always wait for those shoppable links to come up, or you can click on that shopping bag icon. It should be somewhere on your screen, depending on what kind of device you're watching on. If you click on that, you can see everything that's in the show. So you can see all of the goodies I loaded in, and sometimes I throw in a few extra things just for the fun of it. But you can do that all while you watch, so you don't have to leave the show. So isn't that a pretty earring? Oh my goodness, I just love these. These are so elegant and so feminine and such a pretty, pretty component. Oh, thanks, Santa Barbara girl. When I picked these out, I'm like, I have to make something with those. And by the way, if you wanted to, you could use it as like a little bracelet bar. So you could do that. So you can kind of see if it had beads on either side, what it might look like. And then I was thinking too, these would be interesting in a necklace. So if you wanted to, kind of add beads and wire wrap them on, you could do these sort of at the point just above your focal section, and that would add some really interesting dimension, really interesting sparkle, really pretty pieces. So I'm going to grab these ear wires. I featured these in one of the shows last week when we were celebrating all of our artisan brands. These are Tiara Cast French hook ear wires. They are sterling silver and they have that nice round look to them. So thank you so much, Cheryl. We are doing spring jewelry. We're doing joyful spring jewelry today to celebrate the first day of spring. I'm so excited. Although I will say, you guys, we have skipped spring here in Arizona and we are already celebrating summer. It is over 100 degrees here today. So this is a fun and beautiful earring. So great. So I like to do this. I like to grab the connectors. I love connectors. They're one of my favorite things to design with. And I love to connect other charms to them, beads, whatever I can find. Sometimes the connections just kind of speak to me. So this is a pretty earring as well. So I would grab some fun connectors, some beautiful glass beads, just really something special to work with all of these pretty things. All right, let's take a look. Let's make a bracelet. And I want to grab a bunch of different things for this. So in the charm drop this week was also a little bee bead. That's hard to say, bee bead. And this little guy is double-sided, and bees are always so popular. Like, these bees are just super fun. So these are going to string right onto your beading wire. I've got 3 of them, so I'm going to use those in my design. And then I am going to use our new bead mix. So if you missed the beginning of the show, I introduced this brand new bead mix. Mixmaster Megan and her team knocked it out of the park. This is Spring in a Bag. It's called Petals and Pearls. So we're going to work with that and the bees. And then I want to show you how else you can add some pretty little floral touches to your springtime designs. So I'm going to put those there for a second and grab these too, because these are also fun. So here's some pretty options. So if you like a good bead cap, look at these little floral bead caps. They're little and they are just a little like shiny flower. And again, my ring light is just picking up all that shine, but these are a little bead cap. These are called sterling silver 6mm flower bead cap. So it's just a shiny, simple flower accent. So you could just add a little bit of spring to whatever beads you're working with. Then these are bright silver plated open petal flower bead caps, and they are 6mm. So both of these are 6mm, but they look very different. So you've got this guy. These are hard to hold on to. They're just like slipping and sliding everywhere. So you've got the open work and then the more solid flower. So these are so much fun. Santa Barbara Girl says the petals and pearls are right up my garden path. They are beautiful. And Hannah is saying, here in Iceland, our first day of summer is around the 20th of April. It is said here if on the last night of winter. So you skip a season, right? Hannah, we only have like 2 seasons here, like in Arizona. So I have a feeling you have the opposite seasons of us, but you've got only 2, I imagine. All right, so I'm going to grab some 19 strand beading wire. This is Beadalon, the satin silver. I've got a few different beading wires in the show today. And then I've got some metallic silver 11-0 seed beads. You guys know I love to use my seed beads for my spacers. So let's do a fun, pretty spring bracelet. We're going to start spring off right with lots of pretty beads, lots of pretty earrings, lots of pretty bracelets. So I'm going to start with one of the little cubes. Actually, I'm going to grab a couple of the smaller beads to start my piece. So I'll show you this in just a second. I want to try and get all of the different beads from this mix onto this bracelet. So look at that little cube, that little English cut. So fun, so pretty. And I'm going to do one more of the cubes, and I'm just going to use one seed bead in between each bead. So I'm giving myself those metallic accents throughout the whole piece. So just that little bit of silver sparkle in between. And by the way, you guys, I also put a couple more of the bead mixes into the show today, and these are both on sale. I thought these were super springy for you. This one has some bellflowers and some beautiful yellow drucks. This is called Lucky Mischief. This is really got a lot of good springy colors in it. And then this one is really cool also. And this one is called Spring Heirloom. And this has some really fun like Baroque pearls and some cathedrals, great spring colors. So those are on sale. I wanted to point those out to you because they are available and part of the sale. So super fun to work with. So I'm actually going to add one more of the cubes here. Let me grab one more cube out of the dish. And I'm just going to do kind of an asymmetrical pattern here. So 3 of my cubes and 2 of the English cuts. And then I'm going to add a little section of pearls. And I love these pretty little pearls. They are so sweet. And, you know, I said these looked creamy, but now that I'm seeing them on the mat, they do have a little bit of a pinkish hue to them. But I think they could go either direction. So if you're liking more of a pink pearl, you're liking more of a creamy pearl, you've got it all here. Like you've got it all with these beads. Okay, so then I'm going to do a little stack of these little alexandrite flowers. And I'm not going to put seed beads in between them yet. So I've got a trio of them, and you see they just kind of nest together nicely. So let's do that. And I'm going to add one seed bead in between, and then I'm going to do another stack of them. And you can face the AB side in whichever direction you want. It may or may not be visible depending on how you are wearing it, but those are pretty cool. Then I'm going to add another, should I add another trio? I think what I'm going to do now is add a bee. So these little bee beads string directly onto your piece and just add a fun little whimsical component. And he can spin around. That's okay. If that bothers you, then maybe he's not the right choice, but he is such a cute bee. And I think I'm actually going to use all 3 of my bees. So I want it to be like a little grouping of bees flying along my bracelet. So just 1 seed bead in between. They look so cute and so whimsical. So we've got such a pretty combination of things here. And then there's my seed bead. Then what I thought might be interesting is grabbing 1 bead, that's 2 seed beads. I'm going to grab 1 bead here that is purple. So there are 2 different colors of the pressed flowers. So I've got a purple, a clear, and then another purple. I'm going to do 2 purple and 1 clear, and I'm just going to put them together with that clear one in the center. And I think that's going to look really pretty. And 1 more purple one there. So look at, we've got lots of color, lots of texture, lots of fun here in this piece. And then showing you the little pearl again. So I'm going to take one of our little flower bead caps, and then I'm going to put one of the pearls on. And I think that bead cap is just a little bit too big for my pearl. But I think I kind of like it for some reason. I think there's something interesting about the texture that creates. So I am going to leave it, and I'm just going to put 1 pearl on with the bead caps on either side of it. You might like these bead caps with like an 8mm bead, but I think that kind of looks fun. It adds some fun texture around that pearl. So let me just do a quick check of the length on this. So just gonna see how long this is so far. So I'm coming up on the length that I would want. But before I wrap it up and say I've got all the beads on that I want, I'm gonna add a little bit of texture with some of the leaves. So these leaves have a hole across the top like that. So that looks really cute, really fun. So an asymmetrical bracelet for me is all different kinds of asymmetry. And this asymmetry is just kind of taking sections of beads and creating just this interesting whimsical look. So I'm going to do 3 of those. I like the idea of 3 there. And I think that's probably going to be the length that I'm looking for. But before I finish this end, I want to tie back at least 1 small bead and have it match to this end. And I think what I'll do is give one of those English cuts a spot. So we did 2 here, and then it will finish with 1 here. So I like that. And I think I'm going to, let me pull my wire down a little bit. I'm working from the package. So I think what I'm going to do is actually finish the bracelet off camera. So after the show today, because I want to show you one more design. But I will put the finished piece in the Serious Art Beaters Facebook group if you guys want to check it out. But this is what our piece will look like. So whimsical, fun, spring colors, bees, leaves, fun flowers, just lots of cute accents for a really joyful spring bracelet. So thank you for the hearts, you guys. This is just fun. And this is the kind of thing I like to wear in the spring and summer. Just really fun, little whimsical and colorful, beautiful bracelets. You could create one. Oh, you know what else you could do with this one? before I leave my idea and walk away from this one. When you create your bracelet and finish it, you're going to put either a toggle. I'm probably going to just use a lobster claw, but I think where my lobster claw attaches, I'm going to add a dragonfly charm. So just a little fun accent, kind of like that. So just a little fun accent at the end of the piece, just something to tie back to nature and all of that. So these are part of our new charm drop that we just did earlier this week. So that's a fun bracelet. I want to do one more earring because I really love this component. And this is another flower link. So this is beautiful. This is probably the first thing I picked up for this show because I thought this is such a fun flower. So these are called sterling silver 6-petal flower links. And I love the idea of these for lots of different things. So it could be a bracelet connector. So you could attach a strand of beads on either side. You could create a little cascade of these by attaching them with jump rings, and they could be like a center focal for a necklace. Like maybe do 3 of them. Ooh, what about this? So I know I've only got 2 here, but let's pretend we've got a whole necklace of beads. Then we want just something fun dangling in the front. What if we did this? We would connect these with jump rings, or you could put a bead in between. Put a little bead there. That's one of the pearls. And then you could come in with the dragonfly like that. So like this, add a bead in between, maybe add another bead here, and then add the dragonfly. So this would dangle down at the end of your necklace. So that would be super fun, super pretty. Good idea, fun idea. Very whimsical, very joyful spring jewelry. But I like the idea of these, again, for a fun earring. So I keep staring at these pearls. These little pearls are just dainty and sweet. And this is the kind of thing, like if you went to a farmer's market and you're selling your jewelry at a farmer's market, this is the kind of thing that I think people would enjoy. Just a little pretty pearl, not a real pearl, but a little glass pearl on a nice, pretty sterling silver component. So I'm going to do just what I've been doing with the other earrings. Create my loop, open that loop up, and then you'll need to decide which direction you want your flower to go. So that's got that little circular section. I would want my bead to connect here. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. So I'm going to connect my, my bead there. And I'm actually going to grab my bent nose here and hold on to my loop and wrap that wire around, and then come in with my cutters and cut off that excess wire right down close. And look at this sweet little earring. Oh my goodness, adorable. Now you could add more. I'm going to make them with just one and then show you the possibilities of what else you can do with just such a fun little connector piece, taking it maybe to the next level. So I've got my little component, and you can actually flip these over. So they are two-sided. So I'm going to make this one, a little, when I put the ear wires on, I will put them so that the pieces hang kind of the opposite. So let me trim off my excess there. So here you could have literally your finished piece. Simple, sweet, love these. What is Ruth Alice saying? Because that earring set is sterling silver and you would have $30 in it plus your time. Yeah, I mean, you can do all kinds of fun things with these. These sterling silver is going to fetch a nice price. And, you know, they're not real pearls, but I mean, glass pearls, I think, are just kind of a nice thing as well. So these little pieces also can hold another bead, another couple of beads. So you've got a lot of clearance here between your pearl and this pearl. And I didn't test this, but I think it's going to work. So I'll show you what I'm thinking here. So this becomes a little bit more. So it was simple, simple, simple with one bead. But now you can come in with another pearl. So they're probably just a hair too big, but I actually think it will work anyways. So let's grab another pearl. I'm going to put one on the other side. So you can decide if you want to add others or just go with that one simple pearl. And you know what else I'm thinking is these would be lovely for like an Easter brunch, or even Mother's Day that's coming up, you know, not too far from now. Not too long from now. This would be a really pretty little Mother's Day gift or something to put on your craft fair table. So that actually does work okay. I think that's really pretty also. So you can decide simple, one pearl or three pearls. And let me grab an ear wire just to show you. Got some these ear wires I showed you earlier, the little kind of basic ear wire. And you can drop the petal, the top petal, right onto your ear wire and close that up. Super easy. I like the quality of these ear wires because they do have a nice large space already built in for you to put, you know, kind of a larger component on there. I like that. Sometimes you have to create your own space with an ear wire, but here's the difference. So you can go little singular pearl, or you can go with a pearl trio. And you guys, there's about 100 other ways you could do this. You could actually put pearls on either side and connect your flower, another flower here, and drop that bottom pearl there. And then it becomes a longer earring, a much more complicated earring. Maggie says, what type of clear protective finish? So I would not use any clear protector for sterling silver. Sterling silver tarnishes, but it can be polished up very easily. Tarnish is expected with sterling silver. So I would not use a protective spray for a sterling silver component. I don't think you need it because you can always polish it up later. That's the beauty of sterling. It's a nice quality metal and doesn't require any kind of a finish. And Texas Tracy, how much would you sell these for at a market? So for this one, I would probably sell this one for, I would probably sell this for $26 because the pearl's not real, but it has sterling components. And for this one, I might go more like $29, something like that. But you have to price based on the market. So you have to do your research to see what sells in your area, what kinds of materials people go for, what kind of quality they go for, because $26 or $29 may not sell because people may not have that as a price point they're comfortable with in your area. But there may be other areas where people scoop up 2 and 3 pairs based on that pricing. So clear nail polish can work, you guys. I just would never put clear nail polish on sterling silver. Other metals, base metals, other metals like that, I might put a coating on, but I would never put it on sterling silver. I just think sterling silver, the beauty of sterling silver is that it always polishes right up. So it's just super easy to polish that right up and you don't need a clear coat on it. So, Deb, you have $30 in them. Well, but Ruth Alice, yes and no, because I spent a lot for these beads, but I only used, 2 or 6 of them. So I'm always thinking about, kind of the cost of the actual bead. I don't do the math all the way down to the bead, but, when you think about what you are using, the number of beads that you're using, you're really looking at, your components, your main components. So, Daisy's saying the flowers are 12 each. Oh, okay. All right. Well, so clearly I didn't price it out, you guys, so I'm sorry, but that's how I would price them in my area. So I would price them that way, and I probably would use a sterling silver ear wire or a stainless steel ear wire, and maybe not a sterling head pin. So I might use just the sterling component and 1 bead, and then some more cost-effective head pins and ear wires. So it's really up to you. $30 a pair. Yeah, if the market in your area will support that, absolutely. So you can price them according to what it goes for in your area. So that's what we got today, you guys. Wasn't a pricing show, so I'm sorry if I let you down on the advice there, but here's a bracelet. I'm going to finish this one up. I'll put a clasp on it and we'll get you a finished picture of that one. Just fun and whimsical and joyful. There's these little Feston earrings with the glass beads with the flowers. There's these glass beads with the flowers with the connector, flower connector, so pretty. And then the Lotus flower earrings, so cool. Thanks, Daisy. I really, think pricing is always challenging. And it requires a lot of research, you guys. So you have to decide what works best for you in your area. So give me 1 second, guys, and I will flip my camera back up. I'm trying to check my forehead for sweat. It's warm in here today. It is over 100 here where I am, you guys. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to check out of your cart, because if you walk away from your cart, some of the things in your cart may be gone when you come back. So we've got a brand new bead mix today. Thank you, Megan. I love it so much. We've got lots of fun floral components for this beginning of spring. Lots of fun things for you guys to create with. So I'm hopeful that you will try some of these fun designs and try some of the new pieces and parts that we have available. There are so many fun things at artbeads.com for you guys, and we curate them so lovingly to make sure that you have the best things to work with. So let's see, it is Friday afternoon, so I'll be back Monday morning, you guys. I've got a fun finishing part 2 show for you. So if you're interested in crimping and how to make your ends of your bracelets and necklaces look a little bit pro style, you can join me on Monday. I've got a bunch of little tips and tricks for you guys, products for you to think about. We did a part 1 a while back, so I'm hopeful that you guys will come back and see part 2 on Monday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the beginning of spring. Maybe you'll get some spring weather, maybe not, but whatever the case may be, go and create something and enjoy. Have a wonderful weekend, you guys.